But anyway, so in 2005, you released your first mixtape, right? Called The Calling, Part 1.
That's hilarious. We just talked about all that shit. Now we gotta reel it back in.
I know.
Oh shit. I'm sorry I took us on that roller coaster. But look, just for anybody, for clarity too, listen. This is my final statement on this before we go back to talking about my journey and shit. Racism is not cool. I love my people. I am a very proud black man, like to my fucking core. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying to y'all people out there, I'm not celebrating anybody's death. It could be a motherfucker who's racist to the core. I'm not going to celebrate their death. I'm just going to not acknowledge it and keep it fucking moving, because as a human, I don't think any of us have the right to judge people on that level. I feel like that's only God's responsibility. So that's clarity for anybody who want to be ignorant and stupid in the comments. All right, let's talk about rap shit.
All right. Yeah, so in 2005, you released your first mixtape called The Calling Part 1, the prequel, right?
Yes.
And then Everybody Hates Jon Connor in 2006, and then The Calling Part 2, The Second Coming in 2008. For these early mixtapes, what was your mindset for making them at the time?
I just wanted to make it. You know, I just wanted to make it. I just want to outwork everybody. I want to lyrically be good enough. That's when I was studying Jay-Z and DMX and Tupac and Nas and 50 Cent and East Coast hip hop. That's around the time I started really getting deep into East Coast hip hop, because I wanted to lyrically feel, because I had to sell my music hand to hand. So the thing is, like, I had to make sure the product was worth somebody spending that $10 on. So it was like, I gotta make it. I want to make music for a living. I'll do anything to get there. That's when I'm taking Greyhound bus trips from Michigan to Florida, passing CDs out and rapping at the bus station and all of that type of shit. So my mentality was just by any means necessary, man.
So what was the phases like in trying to find your sound and like who you were as an artist?
I think that me and the guys that I worked with at that time, shouts to Kevin Williams and Eric E. Rule Moore, who created The Calling Part 1 with me. Those are my brothers for life. We made that album in a 1-bedroom apartment in Orlando, Florida. Those are my brothers. We was broke together. We grinded together, and they believed in me, you know, just on crazy levels. But the three of us were very much so influenced by the Neptunes, Timbaland, Kanye West, like the super producers of that era. So it's like we would listen to whatever the latest Timbaland, Neptunes, Kanye, Manny Fresh for me, Beats by the Pound for me. We would listen to our favorite producers and just try to make music that we felt like if we played it for them, they would like it, you know? So that was the mentality going into creating those albums, is that we wanted to make music that the people that we respected.
Do you feel like the projects were well received to your expectations, or do you think that it deserved more recognition?
No, I think all of them did exactly what they were supposed to do, because I felt like each of them kept lifting me to another level. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Each project, I kept seeing growth, you know, so and you got to think, you know, I wasn't born in the industry. I was born in Flint, Michigan. I didn't have no industry connections. So it was like, if The Calling Part 1 got us on the internet and I started Googling Jon Connor, The Calling Part 1, the prequel, and it pops up, that's growth, because there was no such thing as Jon Connor prior to that. Then Everybody Hates Connor. I started, I think the Source magazine did like a little blurb about Everybody Hates Connor, or The Calling Part 2, or whatever I was working on. So each project, there was growth that I could see.
Right. So in 2009, you link with Mateen Cleaves, former Detroit Pistons player, right? And you guys form All Varsity Music, which was a record label. What was that like linking with Mateen?
Growing up in Flint, man, it's certain people that's going to always be like hometown heroes and mainstays, and just names that are just cemented in Flint culture. Mateen Cleaves is one of them. MC Breed is one of them. You know, the Dayton family is another one of them. Terry Crews is one of them. Clarissa Shields is another one of them. And so at that time, I was still very young.
Oh wait,
So
Clarissa's from Flint?
what, man?
I didn't even
Bro, you bet.
know that.
What?
I probably
Listen,
did know that. I just probably forgot it. But man, that's crazy. Because I know I saw. Why didn't you get her for your documentary, man? Come on.
I did. What you mean?
Was she?
Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah. Did you? Oh, wait. You didn't watch? Did you watch the trailer? The trailer is on my website.
I watched all 4 episodes. I don't remember seeing her.
Oh, so look. So that's my fault. Watch the trailer. She's in the trailer.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I was like, damn, man, like that really slipped my memory or something. Okay.
Yeah. No.
On it. I was like, damn, he got Terry on this shit. This is crazy.
Yeah. No, Clarissa's in the trailer, but here's a cool thing about that. I'm about to start doing a lot of more content on counterculture. Just I have so much content, bro. I've been recording my entire life, and it's a web series I'm gonna do called Flowers, where I talk about my relationship with like a lot of people that I'm cool with and have close bonds with, and give them their flowers. And Clarissa's one of them. So the episode on Clarissa, man, you'll get to see a lot of cool shit.
I'm excited for that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, but back to Mateen, right? So like you were saying that he's a hometown hero.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, absolutely. So meeting him at that time, like it was mind blowing. It was crazy. And what was funny is he had heard my album, The Calling Part 1, and was like, excuse me. He was like, I've been looking for you. You Jon Connor. And so we just hit it off. My DJ gave him The Calling Part 1 at a barbershop, and he became a fan of the music. And then he met me at a show and he wanted to help me. And that's how it started.
Wow, man. That's crazy. So my boy Mark Hicks, former D12 manager, I just interviewed. Yeah. He did some work with y'all early on too.
That is what's up. That is crazy. Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Man, that's crazy. So what was it like working with Mateen during those early stages?
I felt like his determination was what mine was just in music. It's like our intensity level of determination was equal, and that's where we found common ground and mutual respect. And we both had a mentality of we will not stop until we win. So it was like we pushed each other. With the music I was making, I pushed him to want to go harder at his role. And with me seeing how hard he was going for me in the clubs and trying to find opportunities for me, it made me want to not let him down and made me want to work harder so that he knew he wasn't wasting his time, and we kind of both played off of each other like that.
Did he serve as your manager too, or just a business partner?
Yeah, so my first 2 managers were Mateen Cleaves and a cat named Young Sav, who was at one point the vice president of Maybach Music. He used to work at Def Jam Records. So Young Sav and Mateen Cleaves were my first 2 managers.
How did you meet Sav?
Met Sav through a cat named The Real Slacker. His name is Ian Richards. He's a DJ. He's DJing in Miami now, but he was a DJ in Flint. And whenever bigger artists would come to the radio station, we were friends. So he would be like, yo, such and such is up here. You need to come give them your music. Such and such is up here. You need to come give them your music. So this particular day, Rick Ross was at the radio station, and Ian called me and he like, yo, Rick Ross is at the radio station. You need to come up here and give him your music. So I go up there. Rick Ross, much love to him, but he was, in work mode. And now that I've been in this shit so long, I know how it is. When you at the radio, you trying to handle business, get the fuck out, get to the hotel, wake up, catch a flight. You got other shit on your mind. But Mateen went and hollered at Sav because he was the label rep that Def Jam sent to travel with Rick Ross. So he was there that day at the radio station. And Rick Ross didn't give a fuck about my music, right? But Young Sav was listening and he was like, yo, that's you? And I'm like, yeah. He fell in love with the joint that he heard was this joint I had called Epic. He fell in love with it, and then we was rocking and rolling after that.
So he's kind of like the connection that happened where you were about to get the deal with Def Jam, but it didn't go through ultimately, right? Like in 2011?
Anything that happened with me industry-wise Yes, Sav was the conduit to that. You know what I'm saying? He was the mover and shaker, and like he's the younger brother of Fat Man Scoop, God bless the dead. Like, you know what I'm saying? So Sav was born into the industry. So we was like a three-headed monster. It was like my talent, Mateen's hustle, and Sav's connections and hustle. It wasn't no stopping us. And we all was equally as driven for the cause, like for real.
So what happened with Def Jam in 2011? Like, why did that deal not go through?
I'm trying to remember because, bro, I had met with like a lot of people at that time, so I can't remember. Maybe it just didn't feel right or something. Because like, here's the thing: at that time, I was 100% trusting Sav and Mo when it came to where I should sign, what I should do, when it came to business stuff. Because I knew enough to know that I didn't know enough about what a good deal was, a bad deal was. So if Sav said something didn't feel right, you know what I'm saying, then that's what I was rolling with.
Got you.